Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Inside the 12. I'm Casey Honigbaum with Big 12 Studios, and today we're joined by the brand new head coach for the Houston women's basketball program. It's Coach Matthew Mitchell. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me on. I'm glad to be with you today.
Absolutely, we're excited to have you, and obviously, your resume speaks for itself. 30 years of coaching experience previously at Kentucky. And it's funny, you're kind of coming to another program, it seems like, with, a rich basketball history, so to speak. And I wonder what that means to you to be able to, step into another program with high expectations after coming from one which had, just as similar expectations.
Well, I've told people many times that the opportunity here reminds me a lot of what I encountered at Kentucky. When I arrived at Kentucky as an assistant coach in 2003, the men's program had a century of success, and Kentucky was known for championship basketball, and it was on the men's side. The women's side, not so much, not very much sustained success at all. Pockets here and there, but it was not performing at a high level when I first arrived there as an assistant coach and eventually became the head coach. And during that time, we were able to raise the level of the program into one that was and we were SEC champions, and we were in the hunt, for a decade, year in and year out. We were able to operate at the highest level of the conference and have great success in the NCAA tournament. So now, as I arrive here at Houston, and the energy, I'll make this point, that I always felt like the brand of Kentucky men's basketball was a real asset for us to use to build the women's program.
Sure.
And so I find that familiar spot again. We're here at Houston at an incredible time of energy for basketball because of the good work Coach Sampson's done and the program they've built on the men's side. And now they have over a decade of operating at the highest level. And so women's basketball, not so much, some pockets of success here and there, but we want to build this program into a nationally recognized destination for a young woman to come and chase her dreams in every way a college basketball player can dream. So that's academically, certainly that's increasing her value as a basketball player, but a valuable experience that you can uniquely gain from the college experience. And I still, even though there's times have changed a bit, I'm still a big believer in creating an atmosphere where a young person can come and grow and get equipped and strengthened and enter life very confidently because of the experience you can have here at Houston.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned, obviously the experience that you had coming into the program at Kentucky. And I want to ask because I think it might be something that people from the outside looking in don't necessarily know what that takes to come into a program as a brand new coach and not necessarily build it from the ground up, but start fresh and have to, want to and build a program to national relevance, that kind of thing. How does one do that?
Well, the first step for me is you have to know who you want to be, what you hang your hat on each and every day. And for us, it's very easy to explain. It's called the winning tools. And it's exactly it's the tools that I've used to strengthen my leadership and to strengthen two basketball programs, Morehead State, where I started out, and we were able to flip that and get that successful. And that's where the winning tools were born, was at Morehead State in my first experience as a college head coach. And then we used them at Kentucky, and we're using them now. And it's honesty, hard work, discipline, just our bedrock principles, our anchoring principles, what we, use to live each and every day in our performance and how we want to proceed along the continuum of success. And so when you can have the clarity that honesty really provides you, and not only how you speak, but what kind of effort you give, and just an honest effort each and every day of giving your best. That's very clarifying to the players. They understand what we're asking them to do. And then the hard work, you have to be willing to roll up your sleeves and do the things that are necessary for success. And then the discipline to make decisions that lead you towards success. So that's where we start. And what we guide, that's what guides us. Then that leads us to the most important thing to get this where we want it to be, and that's the people. That's people. And we have stepped into an infrastructure here that's very strong because of the vision and the success of Kelvin Sampson to really have world-class facilities. So the building is important, but it's the people that we're going to bring into the building. That's where we have to start. So we know who we are. That attracts people. So people who resonate with honesty, hard work, and discipline, and they understand that they can have a very deep and rich experience here in college for the student and also their family. So that's really where you start. And so they can't be slogans up on the wall. They can't be, catchy marketing programs or anything like that. It just starts with those principles, and you get the right people. And that's what I'm thrilled with. We have done this in, I think I'm in my 18th week on the job. So a little over 4.5 months on the job. And we've been able to attract some quality people to join us here at Houston. And I'm so excited for the future.
That's exciting. Absolutely. And another question I want to ask, because one of the, when I was reading about, your transition and kind of your coaching career, one of the labels was a program changer. And I want to know what the difference is coming in to change a program, maybe if change is the right word necessarily, but what's the difference between coming in to a new program as a head coach now versus when you did it at Kentucky, if there is a difference that you've seen?
Hey, that's what has been maybe a bit surprising for me, because you're inundated with the message that times have changed and it's so different and it's a totally different world. And I understand what people are saying because there's been a seismic shift in the the financial piece of how the students, the athletes can be compensated now. But I'll have to tell you, I've found far more similarities. I'm surprised at that. It's very similar to me because we are approaching it. I've had the blessing of being out for 4 years and growing and learning and kind of coming in with coming in with a fresh perspective and fresh eyes and fresh energy. And so I look at all of the change as incredible opportunities to, these all come down to leadership challenges. It's a challenge for us to figure out how we still thrive in this new environment. And so I noticed so many similarities, and that gives me confidence going forward. And do I have it all figured out? I certainly don't. And there's a lot to learn and there's a lot to adjust to. But I really think that's true for everyone. I think that we're all trying to figure out, especially, how to navigate the new rules and regulations. But for me, the reason I wanted to get back into it is there's nothing, no matter what the rules are, there's nothing like being around young people and making a difference in their lives and watching them tap into, find, understand their talent, increase their skill, direct their energy toward accomplishing something meaningful. And there's nothing like that. So no matter what the atmosphere or the rules are, we'll figure that out. But I'm grateful to be back with these players, and man, we've had a fantastic summer. They've worked so hard, and we are we are really pumped up for what this season could bring us.
Oh, that's great. I'm sure the Cougar fans are going to be really excited to hear that as well. What has the the support of that fan base, being able to see that fan base, and I guess you talked about being from the outside looking in and seeing what Coach Sampson has built, and he's created, it seems like, also a great atmosphere to play basketball in Houston. And I want to ask, what does that mean to you as a coach coming in, knowing that you have such a fired up fan base that loves to watch basketball?
Well, the first thing I would tell you is that I came in on quite a wave. I got introduced on Tuesday, and then Friday night I'm in the Alamo Dome cheering on the Cougs at the Final Four, and just to be in the middle of this incredible group of people called Coug Nation, it was phenomenal. So what a great introduction for me to really see what it's like, and the passion and the enthusiasm that they have for the university, and visiting with so many people. This place means so much to so many people, and so that gets me fired up right away. And then when you think about Houston and the legacy of basketball in the city, with going back to when Coach Lewis was a men's coach here and the program that he built, what Coach Sampson has continued to do, all the great players that have come through the University of Houston, the championships that have been achieved on the women's side. It's been a while, but it's happened, and there's been some great players come through the program. And you think about early in the century when Coach Chancellor had the Houston Comets going, and there was a real rallying of the city during those times. And I have a connection to Coach Chancellor, so I watched that with probably more unique interest than someone from the outside would have. So, and then there's great players all over. Yeah. The young kids, the middle schoolers to the high schoolers. There's just great basketball all over the city, and people love it. They love the Rockets. They just love basketball. It's fun to be in an atmosphere where if you do what you're supposed to do and you deliver a team that plays hard and a team that the fans can be proud of, that they're going to respond. And we can't wait to do our part to get the Fertitta Center rocking for women's basketball.
Yeah, no doubt. And kind of to go off of that, it seems like obviously Houston, but the Big 12 fan base is rabid for basketball as well. And I want to know, coming into now the Big 12 conference, obviously you've had experience coaching against the conference during your time at Kentucky, but what is it about coaching in the Big 12 conference that maybe drew you to this position in particular?
Well, the quality of the institutions to start with. You just think about the quality of these universities that make up the Big 12 are just some of the greatest in the country. And a player playing in the Big 12, she has access to the highest level of experience that a college basketball player can have. So she's going to go to a great university. We have quality institutions. Houston, we're a top 50 academic public institution in the country. I mean, just a really high quality university. And so that is something to be proud of and something to be excited about. And some of the places I've visited, but a lot of them I haven't. So I'm very excited to get around the conference and visit all the places. But the other thing that I look at is the quality of the players. You're going to be challenged and you're going to play against incredible players. And the final thing I'd say that has me excited is just the quality of the coaching and how that's going to help me grow as a coach, how that's going to challenge my coaching ability. Just some of the absolute top coaches in the country are coaching in our league. So it is going to be challenging. It's going to stretch us to access every bit of talent and strength that we have to be a factor in this conference, but we know we can do that. And I think the strength of the conference is actually going to help us meet the challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean it's fascinating. And I think a lot of coaches have different answers to this next question that I have. But whether it's, maybe some people have like a numerical value that they'll put on. I want to know for you, what does a successful first season as the coach of the Houston Cougars women's basketball team look like for you this coming year?
Well, this is what I tell the players is that let's not limit our dreams right now. Let's go for it. Let's just let's see where we can go. And this is a lesson that I learned in my first go round that I've been able to really dig into and make a mindset shift. And it's just so valuable when you forget about the notion of being the best and you focus on being your best. And so I was my first go around at Kentucky, and we had tremendous success. Don't make no mistake about it. We were very effective in what we did. But I think my outlook was so much rooted in being the best, being number one. And there was a lot of perfectionism in that approach, which caused a lot of sleepless nights and anxious moments, and a lot of the things that I don't think served me very well as a coach. Really, probably caused me some problems. Just that no one would have known about except for me, but just my peace and my confidence, it had an effect on that. And so I've learned that what's just so much more useful. I don't have a lot of control over being the best because that's competition and you don't know what's going on and you don't know how other things, you have no control over that. But what we do control each and every day is the pursuit of our very best. So excellence instead of perfection, opportunities instead of obstacles. That's where I'm trying to get our team every single day, because I know this, if our team does that, if we operate and we are the very best we can be, we're going to be a factor in this conference. Now, I don't know it's hard to predict at what level, but I can tell you, I know what a good team looks like. And we can be a very good team, but man, there's so much more work to do than to talk about it. So I tell them every day, let's prepare to be our best. And from my experience, if we do that, we'll have a great season.
Yeah. I love that. Well, my last question, I know you've obviously had a lot of coaching experience already and have experienced, just about everything a coach can experience, but is there something that you're looking forward to the most for this season coming up as your first as the Houston head basketball coach?
I don't think there's just one thing. I'm just telling you, there's I can't imagine that
it's a loaded question. Yeah.
No, I can't imagine there's anyone more grateful for the opportunity. I was away from the game for 5 seasons, and to return to a place like Houston with all of this opportunity, and there's just a real deep sense of gratitude. So I've got, I'm looking through that lens of gratitude every day, and it's small moments every day. We finished up summer today. We finished up our summer workouts today. And, one of the players just said, it's the best summer of my life. Thanks to everyone. I appreciate that. Awesome. Could she speak to the team? And, it's moments like that's what I look forward to, is the times we'll have together to impact each other. And I can impact them as a coach. They can impact me and help me learn and grow and develop. And so it's just that sense of opportunity each and every day that something meaningful can happen and will happen. And so, there's so many games ahead of us. There's so many practices. There's so many road trips. There's so many, fun moments along the way. There's going to be so many challenges along the way. We're going to make mistakes, but everything we're just trying to do is learn every day to help us get better. And that's what I'm grateful to be back in. And that's what I look forward to experiencing this first year at Houston.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we look forward to watching your first season as the head coach, and we're really looking forward to seeing the strides that you guys make as a team. Thank you so much for taking the time to share a little bit about yourself, your coaching journey, and what you're looking forward to this year. This is very exciting, and I'm sure the fans are feeling the same way. So thank you so much, Coach.
Hey, thank you very much. Go Cougs, and we'll see you next time.